skirts. I've never heard of the rah-rah skirts. Do you remember the raving dummies? Like, it was a little plastic dummy thing. They were, and what else was there? There was the, do you remember back in the day you used to get the scratch and sniff stickers from at the shops? They used to sell them, and they were like stickers, and you scratched them, and the smell, and they're like sugar paper that was like money. I never had, well, call them Angie's now. Yes, the naff, I can't pronounce it. Nanny Annie, Fishy Fanny, come on 94. That's what we used to say back in the day, weren't it? Oh dear, the clown necklace. Never had one of them, I was too poor. I did have a pair of fake gold earrings over the hoops, and I thought it was bads. I thought it was onto bad things, you know what I mean? Right, we're on to the 50k likes, guys. Anything else is a bonus. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I do want to finish the rest of this FYP because I got rudely interrupted by one of my children wanting to dry the clothes. So I did put my foot down and say, if your clothes are wet and I'm on live, you will not be getting in the kitchen again. I'm feeling in a very generous mood today, therefore you can use the tumble dryer. I will come up. Don't fuck with my job again, otherwise you would know about it. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. I said, how about come in your salon? Do you know what I mean? Take a peep on the floor. Would like it, would you, darling? No, Mum. Well, there you go. That's what you're doing to me. Justice for me. Absolutely, Matthew. She's a nightmare, the youngest, though, because she's so unorganised. She'll lay in bed and watch telly rather than come down and do what she's got to do. You know what I mean? We never had glow-in-the-dark T-shirts, darling. No, I never had one of them. Right, let's get on with the FYP, guys. Everybody ready? Okay, then. Alexa, play the BBC News theme tune. Loss of earnings, I know.
BBC News theme by TV Theme Tune Factory on Amazon Music.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the second edition of the Miss Red Show, because I got rudely interrupted by a child of mine, which is very, very inconsiderate. Thank you, TikTok legends. Moderators, please get pinning people. Hopefully, guys, we can smash this target. Yeah, so I'm going to channel my inner Corey Wild and say, let's go, guys, let's get it done. Buckle up, buttercups. Can't pin. Why? Why can't you pin? Thank you, the one and only Bri. Alexa off. Reminds me of Luke. Alexa off. What is wrong with the internet now? Go out and come back. It's my internet, darling. I bloody had enough of this. Thank you for my, sorry for my language. Thank you for my gifts. Look, I'm trying. People are trying to give me nervous breakdowns. My fucking eyes twitching and everything. Nothing fucking works. Honestly. Right, so are we back in the room 1, 2, 3? Nervous disposition. Okay, so we're going to conclude with Alex says, actually, Alex explains why he changed his name to Congolese Alex. Alex, did I pronounce it right? Thank you, Stake Out for the Rose. Congolese Alex. Did I pronounce it right, Alex? Because I get tongue twisted with that. Alex says all the arguments have been lost now in Devon's life due to how it was run when Delusive got in the box talking on her hygiene when it was meant to be a serious live about racism. Okay, so I said it right, thank you. It was a tongue twister for me. I don't know how we're going on in life. Hello, Fee, my darling. So let's get on with this.
It's as simple as that. And it's, again, it's egos. It's inflated egos. Thinking, how dare anybody call you out or say something about something that you've done. It can open Pandora's box. There's no box.
Well,
thank you,
You're just
Fee.
proving yourself to what kind of person you are because you got called out for something. I'm not scared.
I don't want to get into it personally, but I wanted you to know that.
It's all right, Miss Red.
Because, yeah, I just wanted you to know
I
that.
was
All our
fuming
accounts have been lost in
yesterday.
this live.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, and I'll speak to you later.
In a bit, did you?
Good luck with your racism, live then.
Soph said, why am I back on? Because I'm skint, Soph. Absolutely skint. So I'm just on here begging, basically. Thank you, KR and Lindsay. Thank you. Yeah. can I just say that really annoys me when people ask why am I on? Because no other TikTok creator gets that when they come on live. I was on Saturday, thank you. Oh, thank you, Frida, darling. I was on Saturday and, it was way past the time that I usually come on. And I think it was about 4:30, weren't it, when I come on for half an hour just to say hello to everybody. And then I ended up going live with Corey and it kicked off. And people on the FYP were saying, oh, it was a setup because Miss Red was on at this time. I'll come on whatever time I want to come on. I might come on at 6 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock tonight, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll do whatever I want to do. So, don't be surprised or don't ask me why I'm on. I'm just on, it's TikTok. Thank you. Right, let's get on with this. Sorry, it just really annoys me. Hello, Lisa.
No one's going to listen to due to the fact is how you've handled this live. And let me just say that's the truth as well.
Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate that.
Me saying, I don't give a crap about racism, because I do. But like I said, a lot of your friends came at me for hosting racism lives on racism because I was a white person. And I could say, that is somewhat being racist, is it not? How many people called me out for hosting my live and letting people of the black community in my live to speak out on racism? I gave you 4,000 people. I gave you a massive audience so people could talk on how they're feeling, how they're affected, and you all come for me. Did you not? Did you not all come for me saying, I can't believe there's a white person?
See, I know how Alex feels there, right? Because obviously I'm white, right? But I still feel like being an FYP, when you do FYP, if something has been said which is derogatory and, it is racism, even though I'm white, I still feel like I want to cover this because, at the end of the day, when you do have big platforms and things like that, I think it's really important to get the message out there and to give everybody a place to come. Do you know what I mean? And you do doubt yourself sometimes. You think, am I the right person for it? Sometimes, hello, Sam. Hello, my darling. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I hope you're well. You kind of feel, am I the right person for it? But, because, I'm not the best with words, but I just feel like any awareness, when you're speaking about racism, whatever you're speaking about, whether it doesn't matter if you're from that community or not, it's really important to speak about, and I think everybody should, don't matter what colour you are, where you're from, if people are being affected, if people are offended by horrendous things that have been said, let's talk about it, because I want a space for I always wanted this space, don't matter where you're from, what community you're from, for everybody. Do you know what I mean? So I get how you're feeling there, Alex. I get how you're feeling.
Hosting a live on racism? No.
Yes, I would like to say congratulations. Now you've said it in the chat, we will say congratulations. Because I didn't know if I was allowed to say anything, but yeah. Congratulations.
So while we're here, I will explain why I had an issue with what Alex had to say. So if there's a discussion and a debate going on about racism, using terminologies that you don't normally use is seen as antagonizing. I felt antagonized.
Yeah, it's a pretty gift, Sabrina. I love the butterfly gifts.
I wrote how I felt in the comments and then I left.
Okay, as a black man, you can have that feeling. You speak on yourself, you don't speak about across the board of the whole black community. If that's how you feel, that is how you feel. Fair enough. But your argument is lost here now, Devon, because your whole thing was, it was a serious topic. Alex come into the box and tried to make a joke on a serious topic. Okay. And you got up in your box, you're talking about racism, and you all jumped on her about hygiene and stinky knickers, stinky drawers, and I dislike Angie, but you all went at her when the topic is serious, and this is the hypocrisy. That's why when you speak out on racism, people go, do you know what, I can't be bothered to listen to this, I'll move on. I would happily go in a debate live and listen on racism if I feel the host is bringing something to the table. Or
me too, 100%. Even though I'm white, right? If there's any creator from the black community that ever wants me to come in their box, right? Because if I jump in a box, people, communities come in, you know, my community will come in and whatever else, I will happily do that. All you have to do is ask me. Do you know what I mean? If you want, I'm not going to stop saying it because I am white, it's facts. So please don't tell me to stop saying even though I'm white. What I'm saying is I do care, and I will happily, if I'm asked or invited, I will jump in a box. Okay, that's what I'm saying, because it is important issues and topics that need to be had and people need to be heard. That's what I'm saying. I'm handing out an invitation. Whoever wants me to come in there live, no matter what community, if it's an important topic, I'll be there. Okay? Don't tell me what I should and shouldn't be saying, because this is why I question myself and I lose my confidence, because people are telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, and people ain't doing it to me anymore.
Their experiences where I want to listen to it, but all this wishy-washy, getting clout, getting views off the back of it, don't like it.
Alex was told this a few weeks ago in Courtney's live when we were.
And I'm not saying this to look good. I do care because I've got mixed race children. I do care because as a family we have experienced racism.
Discussion, a serious discussion,
and continue to
putting about I'm Congolese Alex and
oh my God,
going on in Congo. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't come on and start making jokes about what's going on in the Middle East.
Oh my God!
So this is the point I'm making. You are always trying to dress up these jokes as banter, but then black people seem to be the butt of the jokes, and then when we want to have a discussion in a safe space about our feelings, this is what happens. It all kicks off.
If you know that you was just
Devon was in the box while I was Congolese Alex and laughing. So what is your point?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but we should be standing together to call out everything, like, you know, 100%, you know, we should stand together because we should care, you know, people should care, and it shouldn't fall on deaf ears and things like that. But all I'm saying is, like, if I'm not invited or, you know, I'm not asked, I can't be in these places. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know about it, I don't know what's going on. But I would 100% be, you know, in a box if asked to go there and have an opinion, you know, and support.
How you are both reaching?
Nothing at all.
Why don't you?
There was talking about my manhood, right? This is the whole situation about the Congo, and this is where narratives get spun. Everyone always talks about my manhood on this app, do they not? My manhood is the most spoken thing on this app anyway. And there was someone mentioned,
spin it on me and say, why should we have to ask you? Well, I'm not psychic. If I don't know, you know, how can I be there? I'm not psychic. Psycho, but not psychic. So no one can spin shit on me.
Biggest manhoods in the world, they're from the Congo. So I changed my name to Congolese Alex, and I put my bio, average 7.1 inches. That's what I did. That was a joke. Not taking the mick out of Congolese and the Congolese genocide that's going on. Never, of course not.
Alex's mushroom always gets him into trouble, doesn't it? He has. Hello, Clover Darling. He has, without a doubt, the most famous mushroom manhood, whatever, on social media, always getting him into trouble. But you know, okay, maybe it might have been poor timing, but I know that Alex, and I will say this with chest, that Alex would never have done anything to cause offence. You know, he didn't do it to cause offence. Alex just, he likes to bring fun and laughter and lighten up moods. You know, that's the way he is. Maybe, you know, poor timing occasions, but it's just the way he is. He likes to lighten moods up. Wouldn't have meant anything, you know, terrible by it. I'm now West Indies Brigham. Right, okay, Alex. If you want to jump in a box when I played this, you're more than welcome. Miss Red, have you had lip filler or is it lip gloss? It's all the above. Yes.
That was the whole joke.
Wait until I get these done then. TikTok will
talk.
talk.
I changed my name to Congolese Alex because it's meant to be the biggest manhood in the world.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just go
That's
unchecked.
what I mean. And always
People don't have
it's not always about racism. It's not always about black and people trying to cause offence to the black community. That's not me.
And whoever else is in the video can come in the box as well.
And that's all I do.
It's not the
Obviously.
It's not the same. Shoot, I'm not one of those. It's as simple as that. And it's egos. It's inflated egos.
Right, so that was yesterday. I do feel like it was deflected on Alex, obviously, because the Congolese thing, it was months and months ago, and people have been in Alex's space since. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with that, KR. You know, sometimes people can't win. It doesn't matter what they do. Do you know what I mean? But I understand. Like, I take everybody's feelings into consideration. But I did feel bad for Alex yesterday. It had nothing to do with the Congolese. Get in the box and talk then. Get in the box and speak to me. Yeah, the boxes are open. Jump in the box if you want to jump in. Alex as well. Alex is here.
Afternoon.
Hello, Devon. You all right?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. So I saw, obviously, I was in a live, so I didn't see any of the reaction stuff. I saw that you felt upset for Alex, and I just wanted to ask why.
Because I think yesterday it should have been about what, you know, EQ had said. Because usually if somebody does say something controversial, racist, whatever, the boxes, the lives are all held. You know, when it was Pearl, when it was Zach, when it was Corey, lives were held. So I know that Paige did one, but you fired up your live and a certain person wasn't mentioned, which I'm not going to, obviously, there may be reasons for that. I don't want to push that. But I just feel like it was, deflected on Alex. And that's why I felt a little bit upset, because the topic of conversation should have been what that person had said, not what Alex had, done months ago.
Okay, so what I'll say to that is, a lot of people have kept asking, why not go for Chelsea Harwood? No, why not go for Chelsea Harwood? That's been the main deflection when I pulled Alex up about something.
Yeah.
I have answered the question multiple lives, multiple times, and they keep putting it. Right? You yourself, who has had run-ins with this lady, should understand there's a right way about there's a right way about going about things.
I get that, but right. Sorry, go on, speak, sorry.
No, go on.
Go on.
So again, if people are saying deflection, he's scared of EQ. No, I'm doing things the right way. As you have seen, this person is very slippery.
But at the same time, Alex shouldn't have been the topic of conversation yesterday, and I feel like Alex got dragged. Alex got made out to be a racist, like with this mini, microaggression and things like that. And
so
it was all deflected onto Alex, and he had to fire up his live cam to you and kind of like, go at what you were saying and everybody else was saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, Alex shouldn't have been the topic of conversation yesterday. If you was offended, or anyone else was offended by what Alex changed his name to a couple of months ago, that should have been had a couple of months ago and not yesterday. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, so it had nothing to do with the Congolese Alex. That was something that was brought up mid-live. That was not my issue that I had with Alex at all. So people don't understand. What's happened is, all I'm hearing is, you called Alex a racist. Not once was he called a racist by anybody. Okay. Should I continue?
Go on, Devon, and then Alex will speak.
Yeah, I never called Alex racist once. I said microaggressions. Now, if you don't understand what it means, be man enough to say, I don't know what that means. Don't put a meaning on it to then change the life completely. Because once you say, you're calling me a racist, that changes everything. If you don't understand the terminology, that's not my fault.
Can I just say something? So microaggression to me would imply that there are, and you know what I'm like with my words, there are traits of racism there. It's still, even though it's not, you're a fully blown racist, whatever, it's still implying that there are levels of racism there. So that is me. It's still implying. I'm sorry, just where my stance. Obviously, I'm not from the black community, right? So, so that's what for me to be called that. It would make me feel that maybe I'm racist. Am I wrong?
And that's the problem. And that's not my fault. That's somebody not understanding the terminology. I teach this stuff. I use terminology, and I know what I mean. Just because you don't know what I mean doesn't mean that's what I'm saying. You just said yourself, you would feel like I was calling you a racist, but I'm not. So is that my fault, how you perceive it? I'm using the correct terminology.
Okay, so I just feel like, it would be for me to educate what that word means. I have to educate myself on what that word means. However, it would still offend. I would still feel offended that guys were not having that in the comment.
Let them do it. It's fine. Let them do it.
I'm not having it, I'm not having it. You're going to be blocked for that comment. This isn't the live for that. And you know what I'm talking about. Mods, will you get on top of that comment, please? So it would, even though I need to educate myself on what it means, okay, fully, because I'm not fully educated, I would still feel like I'm giving saying racist things because of what it means.
I don't need to worry about losing the audience. So as you can tell, right, when people don't understand something, they call you patronizing and condescending. And that's not something that is in my control. If you know that you don't understand something and that frustrates you enough to call me patronizing and condescending, that's not on me. If I got called something, not you, Donna, not you.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you just watch the chat, I'm saying if I got called something that I didn't understand, chat GPT or Google it, it's free. Then I wouldn't have the view that I'm being called racist, and then the live wouldn't progress in the way that it did.
But there are people, okay, that when you hear about micro-racism, whatever, aggression, whatever, that people, let's be honest, people don't go off and Google what it means. They don't. They just stick with, racist, right? So when that live is held, people are going to go off believing that Alex is a racist. Do you know what I mean? Because people, and people should educate themselves, but people don't go and look at what situations mean. They just run with the words. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm Alex's friend, and I know Alex, and I know 100% that from what I know of Alex in the conversation, he's never portrayed to be that way. He's never said anything and that's why I was so upset yesterday. But it's between you and Alex. But as his friend, I know it's not that way.
There are literally people saying micro-racism. Not one person is saying micro-racism. It's called microaggression. I use these terminologies because I train people in it. And I feel like because people clearly don't understand what it means, you have put something on me to say that I am calling you a racist, which I haven't done. Your entire point falls apart because you feel like I'm calling you a racist. That's not on me.
Okay, let's hear from Alex. Alex, darling.
How you doing? The thing is, the game that they tried to play yesterday, which tried to switch onto me, and it was a game, but it was delivered very poorly. And if you want to watch your live back, Devin, you mentioned the racism thing, saying we're just holding a live discussing racism, and then the first word that come out of everyone's mouth was Alex. That's the reason why we spoke about Alex to the masses and to the audience. Then they will think that you are calling me a racist.
So Alex, you in that clip, I'll do this piece by piece because I know you like to break things down. You in that live said that I held a racism live. That wasn't a racism live. I have my live. I'm more than willing to post the start of that live. That was not a racism live. You put that label on my live. I wasn't holding a racism live. You put that label on my live.
Well, it's hard not to put it on the live when you're discussing racism in a live and it's all about racism.
It wasn't though. And I will prove it. It was actually to do with myself and Paige's friendship. Then
From when I
AJ
came
and-
to it, that whole
Yeah.
the whole conversation was to do with racism. So I'm obviously going to label it.
But no, you're not. Obviously, that's your choice. Are you hearing what you're saying? You literally made the choice to label my life.
If you started Cam 2 in a live now and was talking about football, would you label it someone talking about football?
I wouldn't feel the need to label it. By you putting a label on it, you then said, no one's going to listen to you about racism because the way that you handled your racism life. It wasn't a racism life. It was my space.
Because the whole situation was hypocrisy. It was crazy.
It wasn't
Every single
hypocrisy.
thing that you were saying about, and I agree, you know what, poorly timed, jokes in, certain scenarios, hold my hands up, there's probably a time and a place, didn't read the room correctly, right? That is fine. You're entitled to that opinion, right? But it happened the exact same thing in your life, and no one said nothing.
What happened?
Everyone was having a discussion. Angie was in there and everything. Previous to Angie jumping in the box, she was discussing obviously how people was affected and who was upset with things that was happening. And then all of a sudden, Angie jumps in the box, and you start and people talking about her hygiene and her stinky underwear and stuff.
Okay, so here's an example for you, Donna. You run this live every single day at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
When people come into your boxes, does the dynamic sometimes change?
Yeah, it's standard. Conversations go off.
And does sometimes it pop off out of nowhere?
Well, yeah, it's fucking TikTok, innit?
When that happens, your supporters, do they say that it's your fault? Are you in charge of everybody in that box?
I actually say I'm not, responsible for the boxes, but people, because it's my room, they say I'm responsible.
Devin, do you not understand?
There we go.
Did you personally say that I annoyed you by going in that live because obviously serious situation, I jumped in the box and the things that I said?
I did.
You're hosting the live though, so that's what I mean. That's where I mean the hypocrisy.
Alex,
you are the host of the live. You have full control over now, and it's up to you to be able to go, you know what, I don't agree with that. I'm going to drop you because at the end of the day, this is my whole argument. But you didn't. You allowed people to stay in the
and also Donna and yourself and every single other content creator on here have also been in that situation and haven't dropped them. Listen, here's a perfect example. Donna has been trying to do something with Chelsea Harwood for a long time, and just the other week, you and Corey came in and started doxing people. Is she in control of that? Is it her fault that you come in?
Talking about a separate scenario now.
It's an example.
The whole thing that the reason why you went live for.
Okay, and I'll continue with that. Right? You came into this chat.
He said I was trying to do a whole summit with Chelsea Harwood. I ain't trying to do anything. It's her.
No, you've taken, like, maybe I said it the wrong way, but I'm saying you're trying to get justice.
I'm not trying to get justice.
Okay, that's fine. That's up to you then. Like, I'm trying to get justice.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to jeopardize that by doing certain things. But Alex, you came in here today saying Wagwan, right? And Donna, you made a point of saying you're from Birmingham. People say Wagwan all the time. So on and so forth.
Honestly,
right?
Wait,
Yeah.
if you know Birmingham, guys,
I do.
People here from Birmingham. Yeah, it's like.
I do. So this is the only thing I'm going to say to you, right? I've been on this app for a year. I've never heard yourself or Alex say Wagwan until recently. So therefore, to me, that's new.
Okay, so I have said back in the day, I'm 44 now. I've got no business going around speaking like that. Do you know what I mean? But back in the day, of course, do you know what I mean? But I'm 44 now. My grandmother, I don't. It's not in my bed. Yeah.
So after yesterday's conversation,
if one of the kids come in and we'll have banter and we'll go skins bro and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's not. I wouldn't speak to. Not now, but everybody's different, aren't they? Like, are we wrong for saying Wagwan? It doesn't mean that we're being microaggressive. Like, can we say it? Can't we say it? Is there an age limit? What can we say? What can we do?
So of course you can say Wagwan. Nobody has the problem with the Wagwan. It's the timing. So after yesterday, Alex coming in here and saying Wagwan, when he knows that caused all that, feels like a mockery. In the same way that it felt like a mockery when there was a serious live going on and he was saying, Bumbleclart, and other such things. When I've been on this app
Can
for
I
a year,
just say-
he hasn't said it.
Sorry, go on, Devon. Finish. Go on.
No,
Sorry.
it's your platform. Go ahead.
No,
It's your
go
platform.
on. Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, that was the end. That was the end of my point. Go on.
Yeah, so like that is what Alex is about. That's what Alex does. It's Alex, like it's not nothing fresh that I ain't heard from Alex. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not.
I don't do anything with malicious intent. You should know this, Devon, by now. I don't do things to cause offence. I do things to try and lighten moods and scenarios. You really think, right, that I would have threw myself in that scenario, obviously in Paige's live, to cause, obviously because of the conversation, just to cause malicious intent? Never in a month or some days would I. I do things to lighten the mood because of the seriousness of the situation.
Yeah, and Alex, did I say it was malicious?
Well, when everyone's going, when that live and everyone's saying about, oh, well, we pulled up Alex before, microaggressive racism, he's done it before. Subliminal racism was mentioned as well, which is racism as well, that was mentioned.
Did I say, let's just rewind. Did I say that?
No, but you didn't. It wasn't corrected in the live. You know, yeah, okay, it might not have come from you yourself personally, but when other people are mentioning it in the live, you could say as a host, you know what? I don't personally agree. That is your opinion. That's fine. People's opinions matter. All you had to say is, you know what? But then it wasn't shut down, and people's allowed. It was escalating and escalating, and the whole thing that happened was EQ that obviously said it. And honestly, even people that are in my live that are from the black community said, I'm still shocked that your name is being spoken about more than EQ's, and I never said anything.
Yeah, and obviously you keep using this, oh, why are you not mentioning our name? I've explained it time and time again.
Devon, I know why, and that's it's obvious, you know what I mean? Because I know, it's pretty obvious why, Devon. Like I said, no matter what you want to tell
then
people.
Why are you still asking? If it's obvious.
No, because I don't believe you have gone to the police about this, about Eva Queen. Do you know the reason why? Because this happened months ago. She still speaks about you now. The police would have said to her and warned her not to speak about you on social media. She still mentions you. The difference is you can't handle her and her community calling you a rapist. That's it. Simple as.
And you're saying that as fact. You do not know what I'm doing. You have no idea what I'm doing. You're up here putting out an assumption, and you're wrong.
So I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong, Devon, in this situation.
You know
I'm not wrong.
You know you're not wrong.
Because it affected you before, and so it should. You know what I mean? That should never have happened. Of course it affected you.
Yeah,
so, but at the end of the day, just own it and say, you know, that's the reason why I don't want to go through that again. It's simple as that.
You're literally telling me why I'm not doing something. I'm telling you why I'm doing something, and you're continuing to ignore me. That is you're ignoring me. It's not facts. You're ignoring the answer I'm giving you because you don't like it.
Go on, let's
you realize what you're doing? You're literally telling me why I'm not approaching something. I'm telling you something different, and you're going, I know for a fact. And you have people in the chat going, I know for a fact. You don't know for a fact, Alex. What are you doing?
I get now why you never spoke about it yesterday, but however, I do, and you're saying that, you know, you're telling me how to feel, but Alex, I think Alex also, his feelings are valid as well, because if you're not educated, and not a lot of people are highly educated when it comes to, you know, microaggression and things like that, from the outside, from the eyes, it did look like, you know, a little bit of a hate live on Alex. So I think, you know, your feelings are valid as to why you don't want to speak to her, and I also think Alex's feelings are valid as to how he felt yesterday and how we felt watching it, because like, I'm not an ignorant person, Devon, and it felt like a little bit of a gang up on Alex to me. Do you know what? Just from a watcher's perspective, let's not talk about Friends at the minute. Take Friends out of the equation. Just how Alex felt, but I get why you never spoke about it now. I get that.
Alex,
yeah,
you want me to check, right? You said you brought up a number of things where other people said things about you. You want me to stop black women speaking on how they feel. Am I supposed to do that as a host, holding a safe space? Because that's what I try to do. I try to hold a safe space. If they want to speak about their traumas, so on and so forth. They are saying how they feel. You want me to stop them and say, I don't agree with that. Is that what you want me to do?
No, it's not the case of thingy, but you could at least have said, I don't agree with that myself personally. You know what I mean? If you, like you say now, if you don't agree with it, like if you don't agree with it, then say you don't agree with it. You was asked yesterday, after the live, do you think Alex is racist? And you've gone, what Alex said was racist, and you went, no. But then everyone else in the live was saying it as well as yourself. You could have just gone, you know what, you're entitled to your opinions, and everyone's entitled to their opinions, Devon. But you could have said to him, at the end of the day, that's not how I feel personally, but it wasn't like that. It seemed like that everyone was more focused on me.
So you literally just said, when I was asked, do I think you're racist? For the duration of the live, I said no, repeatedly. You've just said that you heard that. But yet you
it was in Pearl's live afterwards, not in that live. I never heard you once say that. But after the live, in Pearl's live, you did.
Yeah, correct. Because me and Pearl had a respectful conversation. She asked me a question, right? And I said no. And the reason that you're confused is because you've taken me saying microaggressions as me calling you a racist. That's not on me. That's not my fault.
But what I'm saying is, you said multiple times in that live that you never said it in that live. It was afterwards in Pearl's live. That's when it was. It was in Pearl's live. You said, and I'm not being funny now. From what I've seen last night as well, I'm not deflecting. I'm just going to go talk about a quick scenario. No one, when there's all this outrage on this app, right? From what happened to Corey and Dan last night in Angie's live, I don't want to hear about people running around this app saying about, oh my God, you know, I'm shocked, I'm selective. You know what? I seen Black Pope last night saying that he's gonna get fucking Dan and Corey raped by a greasy black man, and no one was even budging. No one said anything.
I was literally in Jag's live today and saying how bad it was.
Yeah, I'm not about you. I'm on about, this is what I mean, about this selectiveness on the app when people run around from live to live saying, oh my God, I'm so disgusted. Last night, I didn't see nobody say, you know what, how are you allowing a man, I'm not talking about colour, I'm saying a man to say he was going to get two other men raped, because if it was a man saying it to two women, what do you think happens to the app? It seems to be selectiveness, and people only pick and choose when they're outraged or they're disgusted, or if it, you know what I mean, I understand if it's personal to them and its experiences, of course, it's valid. But I find on this app, it's all, you know, there's groups of people that dislike someone, or there's someone else that dislikes someone, and they congregate into a live, and then it just becomes a hate live. And that's how I feel, because the people that had the opinion on me, Devon, yesterday, are people that have been running around the app slagging me off for months. You know, Alex, do you know what I mean, Devon?
Alex, you held your own live cam 2 in it the whole time. You held your own live with over 1,000 people watching, right? Misinterpreting what I was saying. Even your chat were like, we're bored, we're bored. You had every opportunity to turn off, right? But you didn't. You continued to watch, and you continued to misunderstand what I was saying. We could have had a conversation.
But the difference is, Devon, I was already live, and then someone said that I was being spoken about, so I decided to come to the live, right? And why would I turn off when I'm getting spoken about, Devon? I want to know exactly what's been said, because if I don't hear it from people's mouths directly, I could go off the comment sections and then obviously cause a massive argument when it hasn't been said, like you did yesterday, you know, when people saying that Alex is mentioning the NF, you're...
and I apologise.
Yeah, okay, you did 100%. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's easy to go off the comment section, so that's why I cam 2'd it, so I knew exactly what was said from the exact source, so I wouldn't have to do all this stuff, because I've gone off comments before and then getting myself in trouble.
Okay, so but Alex, you watched me and you still misinterpreted that I was calling you a racist, and verbatim I said multiple times during that live, I don't think Alex is racist, and if you actually just look up the term, it's like unconscious bias. It's like making a joke at that time. If there was a DV live happening, sorry to say that, by the way, if there was a DV live happening and I was in the comments saying, oh, gonna get a couple of cans and, you know, make jokes at the expense of the subject that's going on, someone might feel triggered by that. And then the next day, while speaking to my friends, I said, I didn't really like that. And I think that somebody should have checked him on it. And because you weren't checked on it, you came away, because I listened to your live, and you thought I was the only person that had a problem with it, and I wasn't.
But the thing is, what you said was, Devon, is you felt that Hazel, you know, the lady that come into the box, yeah? You said there should be more support for Hazel, I believe, or something like that, weren't it? What was the actual wording? Because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, I said basically Hazel was on stage and she said she felt very uncomfortable by your jokes, and I feel like she got shut down, and she left the live.
But Hazel agreed yesterday, mate, Devon. Hazel agrees yesterday that after she voiced her opinion, and I took it on board and said, you know what, I respect your opinion, and I didn't say anything afterwards. I shut down. I even stayed in the box and said, you know what, you can drop me a page here. I'm going to stay on mute. But it's just so my audience comes in here to obviously watches what's going on. You know what I mean? I didn't speak about Hazel or mention anything after with Hazel. That's what I'm saying. So when Hazel made her feelings known, I shut it down. I didn't make any jokes. I just sat in there quiet on mute and allowed my audience to come through.
Here's the truth, right? Here's the truth. I feel like you didn't understand what I'm saying. And your takeaway and everybody's takeaway in the chat and your followers' takeaway, because you said the words, was that I called you racist. And I didn't. And you made a statement about how you gave your platform and you allowed black people to come and have a voice. Some of the things that you say can seem very insensitive and seem a certain way. And I literally just came to you with my opinion. I never once said it was the black community's opinion. It was my live, and I just had my own opinion on a live. And it's blown up because of Cam Tuin, because you're telling your followers that I called you a racist.
We're going to go around in circles here. I mean, all I'm saying is every single time when that live was being held and everyone was talking and stuff like that, when you start saying, oh, we're discussing, obviously, the situation that happened, we spoke about Eva Queen, we're talking about racism, and then, someone mentioned something to do with racism, and the first name that was mentioned was, that's the reason why we're talking about Alex Brigham. Download your live, you'll see what I'm saying. And just from an outsider, looking how it looked, just when you download your live, Devon, look when they start mentioning we're talking about racism, and the first name that gets mentioned instead of Eva Queen is Alex Brigham. From someone that's just come into the live, they're going to hear racism, Alex Brigham, and then run off with it. You know what this app's like?
Alex, listen, there's one thing that I do due to my trauma, right? I will always prove my point. I have my live, I have the start of my live, I have what the live was about, and I'll just show why it's not the case. You weren't called a racist by me. I don't do that. I don't label people things for no reason. I did say that you use microaggressions, and I stand by that.
Thank you, guys. Hello, Remy.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
How you doing, Remy?
I'm all right. I really wanted to come up because I love all of you heavily.
Okay.
You know that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a massive miscommunication between both of you, because you're both right and you're both wrong equally, right, in different ways. And Alex's feelings are valid, but so are Devon's.
Yeah.
And I will agree, after watching Devon's live, he didn't bring up the Alex stuff. Somebody else mentioned it. I also wanted to say, Devon didn't start that live as a hate live towards Alex. It very much was about Paigey and him. They just had a little thing, and that was the purpose, and it got derailed. But I also see from Alex's point of view how it then felt like it was very heavily against him, and it was to a degree, but I really feel like blaming Devon for all of it is not fair. And I've been looking at these comments and everyone going at Devon, why are you not calling out EQ? Why are you not calling out EQ? Again, if people just take the time to listen, he's already said why. He's trying to move differently. He's trying to do something. He's trying to use another process. If he was to throw up a live about EQ, it would interfere with what he's trying to do. And so I just want
to Remy, yesterday I never understood that, but from what Devon said, I understand it today. But I do feel like, yeah, go on, carry on and on.
Yeah, no, and I just, just people just try to think a little bit as to why maybe he didn't go in hard yesterday, because he's trying to do something, and in order to do that, he has to move in a different way. But I also understand why that looks to other people like he's scared, and that's not the case. And, the stuff that was mentioned about Alex, again, I think the miscommunication here is that Devon wasn't going on about the Congolese account. What he was talking about was Alex coming in and dropping jokes, and we know that's Alex's style, but it was just badly timed. It was badly timed, and that's what Devon was upset about. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Devon, but that's all being misinterpreted into Devon's holding a hate live, and it's all about this Congolese account, and that wasn't the crux of what Devon was saying. He was saying we were holding a very serious, important live, and at this time Alex comes in and he's making jokes. And we know that's Alex, but also some of the people in the box don't know Alex and may have taken that personally or the wrong way. And again, I don't think Alex would have done that with ill intent, which I know some people think he did. I don't think he would have done that. I think he was just trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was just bad timing. Just bad timing, you know?
Yeah, and I can agree with that, Remy, right? And you know what? Like, respect to you. You know we speak. But you know, when it comes to this, do you know how I personally taken it myself and my feelings are valid? It seemed like when they was trying to mention, you know, obviously me going in the box, and obviously there was certain people saying that they deemed it how they wanted to deem it. Their feelings are valid. It seemed like when the argument was getting lost and people was disagreeing, even in their own live, when people was disagreeing with it, then things started getting mentioned about the Congolese. It was like they was trying to think of everything to darken my name. You know what I mean, Miss Remy? It seemed like if that was totally irrelevant, the Congolese account was totally irrelevant. Why was it mentioned? That's what I'm saying. It was like there was things getting brought up and out from the past that no one had issues with, but now they've got issues with it, and it just seemed like it kept getting brought up.
It did, and again, just to be clear, it wasn't Devon who brought it to the live, but also
of course, it wasn't Devon. No, you're right.
The live spiraled, right? So the Congolese account, and then it was called the Jamaican Courtney, and it spiraled away from what Devon's intent was. And Devon's a bit like me. Like when you got the boxes open and it starts to go mad, I just go silent and just like kind of hope that like it will just sort itself out, because it can be really stressful. And I know people say, oh, you should drop people and you should do this and you should do that, but until it's your live and the boxes start going completely left and wild, it can be really hard to manage. But again, I think my point is like, Devon's intent wasn't to do that live to say Alex Brigham is a racist. At no point. I did hear him say he doesn't think you're racist, but he was, you know, upset about the jokes at that time during that important live. But it just spiraled, and it can happen. And again, I just wish that you two could have just had a conversation together. You know, the cam-2-ing ended up making it worse. The crowd, the audiences were jumping from room to room, mixing things up, telling lies, people running in, telling Devon you're talking about NFA when you wasn't. Like, it just all spiraled, and you know, like I love both of you, and I don't know.
Do you think there can be? Do you think? Like, thank you, Remy. You're always the voice of reason. That's why we let you in, because you're always you know what you're talking about, don't you? You do a better job than me anyway. Alex, Kevin, from this conversation, where can we take it from here? Like,
doing a hate live and Devon. That's what I'm doing.
Alex,
what?
Devon,
vice versa. Exactly the same.
You got to get an audience somewhere, Devon.
and this is the other narrative that gets pushed quite a lot. I did a 3-hour live and didn't ask for a single heart me or tap. So let's take that narrative. Let's get rid of that narrative quickly.
I didn't say it though. Didn't bother me.
I don't need
said that multiple times. Fair play. If you want to hold a hate live on me, get your numbers up. I don't give a shit. Like I said, it's up to them. I'm not one of them.
I'll tell you what a real hate live is, if you want. Like, that's not a hate live. It's people having a different opinion to yours is not a hate live. People
don't threaten me is a good time.
Throw the time around.
You know what I mean? This is the thing. Like, there was a time where I used to think, you know what? I don't even want to go on TikTok because there's going to be some idiots talking about me about irrelevant things. Loads of things about me has now been debunked, right? So, it's kind of plain sailing now. All these people that use these things like, oh, Alex, this, autism live, all this and that. It's all been debunked. And you know what? Now these people look stupid. And the fact is, people stop following me because of all this. And now these people are now apologising to me. I'm not interested. You chose to believe the masses. I'm good. I'm doing my own thing. I don't care about these irrelevant people.
Yeah, listen, I'd just love if you two could have a conversation, because I think there's respect between both of you, and I know you've both like been in each other's lives and support each other. And I think yesterday just spiraled, but I genuinely don't think Devon was coming from a place of hate. I think he was just angry about what happened. But equally, I fully understand why Alex was upset.
I personally think it was a dig at me because he obviously he knew that Courtney wanted me. Obviously, I kind of said no, and now she's moved on to Devon. I think it's to do with that. I think because obviously Courtney and Devon have got a secret relationship on the go, and you know.
Anyway, I'm going. Listen, I love you all, and yeah, let's sort it out, please. All right, bye everyone.
Thank you, Remy.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi guys. Alex, just quick question. Was Toothless Tina chatting me in your box today?
No one's been in my box today.
Toothless Tina, you know who Toothless Tina is, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, Nanny McPhee.
Yeah, Laura the singer.
Yeah. Nah, she ain't been in my life today. You made it. I blocked her anyway. I don't have her in my life.
Oh God, I think Alex fancies her secretly. Anyways, how are you, Miss Red?
I'm good, thank you. I'm glad Alex and Devon are somewhat sorted.
I'm not. I was trying to see a boxing fight, to be honest.
You love it, don't you?
Yes, I love it. I love it when people are beefing and I'm not involved.
Now we've come to the conclusion. Devon fired shots at me because he was trying to slap Courtney.
Boring.
You know what I mean? You tell him, Torian. Devon, you're boring.
Devon, don't let him speak to you like that, darling. Come on. You don't have to cut that.
Nah.
So what's the agenda? Guys, I'm doing a road trip soon.
Oh, God.
Are you going to Acton in London?
I've got a few places to go to.
Oh, we're doing a road trip? Like,
road trip?
Oh, God.
Places, different parts of the UK, love.
Torian on tour?
Torian on
Devon,
tour.
do you see what I've done today, though, Devon?
Done today.
I've gave Courtney content now. She's going live now. She's going to be screaming.
Stop.
Wait, doesn't Alex and Courtney speak at all?
Nah, she's just, to be fair, I can't be dealing, you know me, I'm a bit like you, Torian, I don't take this app too seriously. I can't be dealing with outrage, that fake this, fake that, and I just can't be bothered with it. I don't want to hear about people being offended because someone called someone a div, because their uncle called them the div in 1966, you know. I don't care. You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing about child abuse on a daily basis, rape, people getting headbutted by their cats. I don't care, man. I just don't care.
But you know you don't have to go into that space.
Devon, stop calling me out. Go and sort Courtney out.
The thing is, you say it's you don't have to go into the space, but you can't avoid the spaces because it's all over the FYP. Do you know what I mean, Devon? This is the thing. Like, you can't escape it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's impossible. It's everywhere.
No, it actually is, for real.
Getting headbutted by your cat, though. Come on now.
Oh, I've heard delusive Angie's now foaming at the mouth. She's either getting turned on or it's rabies, one of the two.
We should all go over there and just kick off.
Wait, why don't we? Oh, wait, she might be watching. I can't say it.
Miss Red, why have you got my abuser in your box, Miss Red?
Miss Red, I went into Andy's box today and there was a copycat of you called Miss Red's twin, and she was going off on me.
I'm just getting heavily trolled at the minute, Torian, with all these accounts. I've got Laura impersonating me all over the TikTok place. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, I saw that with Dave Durant yesterday.
I'm not happy about it. This ain't no laughing matter, you know.
Wait, did she actually dye her head red?
Yes. Look, Torian, look. Oh, I can't show you because you're in the box. Well, this is serious.
No, get her in it.
Let me flip the camera. Let me flip it. Watch this.
Let me see.
Don't even laugh.
So you know that, Miss Red? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
She's even pretending it's her.
Look at her name, Torian.
Wait, what's her name?
Miss Red.
Oh my God!
Yes. Have you? Thank you now.
Miss Red, you better mind she don't take your life next.
I'm heavily stressed out. What if she comes for my husband?
Innit, Simon? Run. Oh my God, people are mad, innit?
Yeah, look, we're in the chat having a nice time talking about me. Grow up.
Come on, let's.
Hi, buddies.
We have
How you doing, Frankie, mate?
Hello.
I just want to know, like, you know how you have just been on about a joke? Like, it's okay for one person to have a joke, but not for the other. Like, how did other people feel about Courtney putting, was it Jamaican Courtney in a name? Because if it had been anybody else, there'd have been absolute riots. So I want to know where the joke starts and where it ends.
Okay.
And before anybody starts in the chat, listen. Yes, I said what I said, done, been to court, took me punishment. I think it's about time that ended, isn't it? I've never done it since, so we'll just, because I got jumped onto that.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Courtney Jamaican era. I wasn't around them times.
I do.
Tell you, babe.
I do. So I don't know where this mad Courtney hate's coming from. I find it a bit awkward, but Jamaican Courtney was created by myself. And this is something that I feel that needs to be addressed. In your live yesterday, it was claimed that, not you, pal, in the live yesterday, it was claimed that Courtney did blackface, and everyone ran with it with no proof, no anything. And then it was rife in the chat that Courtney did blackface and how she created a Jamaican Courtney account. I made a meme, a gift or whatever of Courtney in Jamaican attire. So what are we doing here? I made the joke.
But even still, Courtney is a white woman through and through, and I think it was very disrespectful for her to carry that TikTok name with Jamaican Courtney, and especially everything that was going on in the app. So personally, I don't think that was nice. Because just because it come from you, Devin, it's not going to say everybody else was okay with it.
Okay, so any person...
Can I, Devin, can I answer?
Let me just finish. Any person of colour that had an issue with Jamaican Courtney went directly to Courtney.
So there you go, people did have an issue.
One person, yeah.
You just said everybody that had a problem with it went to Courtney.
Yeah, and I just said one person. And for me, this feels a little bit personal. I'll let you guys say it out. It's none of my business.
So what was your point on it then, Courtney? Like, how did you feel having our account?
The moment that I was told that someone felt uncomfortable with it, I removed it. Well, I couldn't actually change the name, but I took the account, I deactivated the account, and then the moment I could, I changed it. I took accountability, I apologised. I shouldn't have done it. What more do you want from me?
But I'm just saying, I don't think it was nice, and especially what made it yes, I'm telling you. And especially coming from a black man to give you that name on there, and I don't think that was nice. But again, on here, if your face fits, it fits, and if it doesn't, you're basically fucked.
Respectfully, like, this is the problem that I have. I train EDI training. I use certain terminologies because I understand them. I understand certain things.
Devin, I'm not being disrespectful. I don't understand all these big words, what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say was it was okay for you to make a joke out of Courtney with a Jamaican thing, but take Alex into consideration. It wasn't okay for him to say what he said 9 months ago.
Pearl, can I tell you, during that time that I was doing that account, I was learning about Jamaican culture. I was learning the words. I was cooking Jamaican food. I wasn't sitting there trolling the account. I was actually trying to learn a culture.
Are you for real? You lost your argument here now.
Why? Oh my God. I know I'm thick, but come on. That's just, you are just talking to me like I'm simple.
Wait, I'm going to say,
you're learning to cook Jamaican food and you wear Jamaican clothes. Are you for real?
I don't wear Jamaican clothes.
Yes, you've got a profile picture. You're in green and yellow with the earrings, the hat, and the frock on. So yes, you do.
So what, Pearl? Do you never go on holiday and wear a T-shirt with a Jamaican flag on it? Because you've been on holiday.
Well, I don't run around and say
T-shirt.
Well, even in you what, Courtney?
Have you never gone abroad and put a flag where there's a T-shirt with it? No? Can you never wear a football top with the, like,
not a football top.
Can I just quickly ask a quick question? Courtney, sorry babe, just a quick question here, just for it to get cleared up. Where did this blackface? Why did Chippy seem to think that you done blackface? Where did that even come? I'm just giving you a chance to clear it up.
I've spoken to Chippy. I'll even show you the picture.
No, I don't think you done blackface.
Okay, you know, it was Devon that made the AI picture. Number one was having a joke between ourselves. So the difference is, number one, hi, Miss Red, by the way. I'm really struggling as a person of colour who's directly been affected by a pile on top of me. Just because you have been convicted or it happened a year ago,
well, I'm directly.
I haven't finished, pal, please.
Let her finish.
I'm not being rude. If I'm not being rude.
I'm just saying I was directly affected by you yesterday. What you called in is when I come to speak to Devon, not you.
Okay, that's great, but it's racism. You. So you've, pal, you're a big grown lady, and I've heard.
Right, you are, and I've
when I finish my sentence,
I've had my punishment for it.
All right, lady, can I finish, please? I'm not shouting.
To say sorry,
Can I
been punished for what I've done.
Can I finish now? Can I finish?
Mom,
just let me finish one sentence. Every time I come to places, I can't finish a sentence. My thing was, you can't expect people, pal, to completely forget your racism. And you're saying you didn't like the words I said, fair enough. However, you're a big grown woman. I've heard your mouth on here. You was dancing the other day when people were calling each other the most worst words, and you can clearly stick up for yourself. You can clearly stick up for yourself. However, when it comes to racism, in this topic right now, in this box, I really struggle to understand why convicted racist is actually calling out anyone to explain any form of racism, when at the time, regardless, it was pure defence. Secondly, with Courtney, it was Devon that made the AI. And the issue that Kenzina's mum said with Alex and the Congolese name wasn't because it was a black name, it was because there's a genocide in Congo right now. There's hundreds of thousands of blacks.
My point exactly.
Oh, do you know
why
what, pal? I'll fucking mute and you can talk
to
over
have
me.
that name
You tell me what I'm going to say.
not for Alex to have a joke.
You tell me what
you are not
Hey,
on this app. You are far from it.
Let her explain so you understand it and then just respond. Like, let's just have some monologue. Let her speak and then you can respond. Because sometimes when we talk over
she talks to you like you're an idiot.
I'm not talking to you, pal.
She's not talking at you.
Listen. So go on, Paige. Just
no, sorry, Miss Red. Can you allow Kemsino's mum in? Can we let Kemsino's mum in? Because she was the one that spoke to me about what I did was wrong, and she was the one that also spoke about Alex. So she did have the energy for both of us. I just want to put that out there.
And can I ask why no one? I'm not even going to actually say the one that calls people aggressive. I know why people don't call people aggressive. Just to finish my sentence in what I was saying, I really struggle. The fact that when people of colour are sitting there explaining stuff, hence how like that is situation, no one actually listens. Even how Devon was saying earlier, if something's been said and you don't understand the meaning of it, is that our fault or is it your fault in terms of education? No one actually wants to sit and listen unless we deliver it in the most kindest, nicest, softest voice. But when I'm being fed and sat there against certain races on the apps, we're bored of it now. And I don't really see the issue. And I think it's really strange that someone like Pearl is calling out someone like Courtney when she deflected upon her own racism for like a year. Not saying that you're doing it now, but I really struggle to understand how that, to me, that's hypocritical. And I think that's very, very strange.
No, it's like giving her that name. So that's hypocritical.
Pardon? But they're people, so you're saying people of colour are hypocritical, but you're not.
Hypocritical.
So you as a racist...
You called me hypocritical, and I think that Devon was being hypocritical, especially when all what was going on the app at one time, and like saying I appointed this name to Courtney.
So
Devon, are you Jamaican?
All of the racism
yes,
are you offended by?
Devon's Jamaican though, Paul, so he can't, like, he's Jamaican himself.
Are you Jamaican? Are you a person of colour when you're throwing around racial slurs and then defending and deflecting? Because Courtney didn't do that. Courtney wasn't actually racist. She didn't make the AI, but guess what Courtney did? Apologise. She rang me crying saying, have I offended someone over a picture I didn't make? She cried on the same day and deleted the account. And so you sat there and made EDL
on the same day. It was there for days.
You made EDL burgers for months.
Yes, because I was getting called and I didn't even know what EDL meant.
Community.
I
so what's your
didn't
excuse?
even know
and you're calling it out. That is crazy.
ADL meant. Because you
did know what EDL meant, pal.
You kept calling me it.
Okay, there you go. Courtney accepted it, not deflected, and Power a year later is still
no, you keep calling.
She doesn't know what EDL means.
Just like yesterday, Paige, I went in to speak to Devon. You couldn't wait to start screaming and shouting at me like you do to everybody. So, like,
just racist, pal. Just racist.
There you go, Paige.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's a bad thing as a person of colour that I shout at racist. Bloody hell, pal. Sorry about that.
No, her anger, I think yesterday when Paige came in the box, it wasn't the fact that it was the fact that she was saying because you have been convicted, who are you to come and tell us black people that we should speak about a said creator? When you get what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing where she's attacking you. It was just what she saw in it. That's all it is. It's just the fact that you as it's like a convicted rapist trying to call out another convicted rapist. It don't make no sense. Does that make sense?
Yes,
you get it?
Sorry. I just think, right, we know what happened with Pearl, but Pearl and, you know, we can't tell people when to forgive, okay, if you're offended, you know, from the black community. We can't tell people when they should forgive, but I think because Pearl's been dragged for the longest and people have, and we shouldn't be comparing, right, who said this, who said that, okay, but I think because she's been dragged for the longest, right, and she's apologised and she's doing better, she's trying to do better, she's educating herself. I think that, you know, when situations like this arise, it's like, well, you know, how come there's no energy here or that? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
coming in to educate Miss Reg, she's coming into situations every time I've seen her saying, why haven't you called out this racism? Why are you not talking? Stop asking why people of colour have not called out the racism that you specifically want us to call out. That is my point, Miss Red. We go through enough as it is. People say all you go is talk about race, all you do is talk about race. Then people run into our lives saying, why haven't you spoken about this? Do you see the catch-22 here?
No, I do get it. I do want to...
No, but I mean, even when we want to stop talking about it, Miss Red, like, I was basically forced to do a live on EQ. I was going to do one anyway, but even after I did one, everyone's like, why don't you do a live? Why are you not doing more lives? I did a 4-hour live on EQ, but because I didn't want to get her in, I didn't want to get the racist in to affect and trigger people. I wanted our community to come in. That's what I did. I had a live. There was only about 400 or 500 of us in there. But because people, I didn't want certain big creators coming in, no one knew, no one cared, no one bothered to come. When it got shared, no one cared because it wasn't drama. Miss Red, do you see what I'm trying to say? The drama wasn't there. It was a calm, educational live, and it was an issue. And Alex, respectfully, yesterday, the whole thing in yours, where you're saying you didn't like being called a racist, you didn't stop one person from calling me a racist. You let Hayley comment sit on your live and say, I call people the white. And I've never done that. So I'm saying, Alex, if I can get over it as a person of colour, I'm sure you can as a whitey man, thinking that what maybe you assume to be the name. Don't
Whitey man.
Yeah, she's absolutely outrageous.
Don't start. I can't even say. But I get banned, and you know it.
Can I just say something? Hang on, Laura, darling. I know you're thinking me, but chill. the whitey term.
Laura, put your camera on, please. Sorry, Miss Red. Go on.
Victoria, and this is a serious situation. I know that the whitey term does offend some people that are white, but basically it's kind of like if you say white person, it can flag the live up. Do you know what I mean? So this is
how I say mixed. I don't even say I'll say now black, but I don't even say that a lot because when I say the two terminologies as race, I get from Wave what I talk about. I get banned a lot. Not everyone will and everyone does, but I'm watched.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I know. And I'm half as well. Everyone seems to forget because I'm brown on the outside, Miss Red. I'm not allowed to be. That means I can't stand it. So when everyone was saying in your live, Alex, yesterday, I left your live with the impression of everyone, 3.2k people, calling me racist towards the white community.
Okay,
if that's how you felt, is it different to how I felt then?
Right, yeah, no, I agree what you're saying about in the boxes and talking, but why is it put in chats and stuff as well then?
What?
YT.
Because you get more flagged in the comments, Alex. Don't be
No, you don't. No, you don't. I can put.
Okay, you don't, Alex, but you don't sit and talk about racism all day. So your algorithm and your AI bots are not heavily focusing on that. I can't even do some of my poetry.
AI only monitors speech.
Alex, you don't know everything about TikTok. We wouldn't do it if there wasn't a reason.
Oh
we
my
get
God.
banned.
Let me just say this, right? You know the AI from TikTok, yeah, it's ran off the live, the actual from visuals.
So is that the most upsetting thing?
It's
the YT comment. That's our really topic of conversation now over everything we're talking about. Yeah, that's it.
So can I suggest one thing, right? Here's what we're gonna do, right? You, Alex, and the chat have all said you are offended by YT, right? Here's what we're gonna do.
Me personally, I don't.
No. Fair enough, but a lot of people in the chat are saying they're offended by YT, right? Can people agree for a while just to say white, right? And then see what happens.
If I get banned, I'm gonna go mad.
Just to no, but then we're listening because
yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
when I say that I'm offended by something, I expect action. Nobody does it, so we are going to do that. I don't even say whitey. I say white. But from now on, people try to say people that you know of will say white.
Okay, if that's the only issue with our conversation, I will say white from now on. I apologise, pal. I apologise, Alex, if you're offended by the YT reference.
I've been called a fucking predator. I don't care about being.
My thing is, Alex, we both got called racist yesterday, yeah? But imagine my frustration when I'm a person of colour who receives racism consistently. I was getting called a monkey in your chat. It's not your fault, I'm not saying that, but when it's like the gaslighting, calling someone who receives racism racist, that is just as frustrating. So when people are calling, and no one actually called you racist yesterday, and you was going on and on at me about Devon, and I said to you from the very start, I was the one that got almost like people come up to me and said, why was you in the box in the first place? Because I was saying you didn't offend me in that live. I had bigger fish to fry, aka EQ, and you still wasn't listening. Do you understand?
Like I say, the live.
It's just frustrating. That's all. Yeah, it's frustrating.
The thing is, it didn't take me to open my mouth. People seen it for themselves. For like, if they have their opinions on that live and how it was sold, no one can say it was anything to do with me because we was cam to in a live in real time. You know what I mean? So therefore, if your feelings are valid, so are the people in the chat.
No, you're not getting it. You come to me and said you don't like people calling you racist, etc., etc. It wasn't even when I come into your room. You put what everyone said in that box. You put that on me, Alex, and I'm the only one that didn't actually say it.
But
you was in my box. I'm the one that let you in my box, so I clearly didn't have a problem. I didn't drop you when you said after what you said.
You didn't personally know what I was going to say, did you? You can't say, "Oh, but I'll let you in."
Alex, you said it, and I already knew. I was getting messages. I was live saying he's annoying. It's not a joke. I ignored it and I carried on with my live because it was more important what EQ had just said the N word. And I when you said you can drop me if you like, I didn't drop you. Is my point. When I come into your live the next day, every single black person was on my head. Like, why did they say this? Why did you say that? That's the difference. And another thing I need everyone to understand is we did educate for a whole year for free and we got nothing but abuse and poor mental health. We don't need to educate. I don't have to educate any of you no more. I don't have to be clapping.
It was 2 years, sorry.
Oh my God, was it?
I personally think, Paigey, it seemed a lot like control yesterday, in my own opinion, because Devon went into Pearl's live and all of a sudden there's a live getting slagging him off.
How was there a live slagging him off?
Well, there was. I got told instantly, said that...
Alex, this is what I mean. You got told you're so messy. Racism is not messiness. When black people are discussing, if you're doing segments... Because let me finish and I'll tell you why. You're saying Devon's getting into all this. Like, you see when you're talking about Angie and it's like people are peeing their pants and it's drunkenness. That cool. Be messy. Say this person told me that. I think you don't fail to realise why people get annoyed with you. Is because when it comes to stuff like racism, people, this is genuine feelings.
It wasn't a...
Can I finish? Genuine feelings. People get wound up. We're acting on emotion, Alex. You're acting on, like, you can make jokes and you're looking at it from an outside perspective. But we're in this as in people of colour and we are affected and run by emotion. So sometimes we may shout a bit more when we're passionate. Sometimes we may get frustrated. Sometimes we may have a little rant. But it's because we're being called a gorilla and a monkey and the N-word. Do you understand? It's not a messy situation. Oh, we got told this or we got told that. Who cares? Like, it's just upsetting. We get upset sometimes and I just don't get why you can't see that.
Alex, yesterday you said in your live, because I've watched it back, that these people don't really care about racism, right? That statement in itself is one of the most offensive statements that I've ever heard. To say that a group of black people talking about racism don't really care about the racism and it's about clout. That's offensive, bro.
But that's my opinion because the person...
How can you have that opinion?
Okay, to tell you how I can have that opinion. Because the person that obviously said the words wasn't getting spoken about on that day. It was about me. So if you really want to stand on business, let me tell you now, Devon, and I'll say it how it is. You, right, like you say, you said you want to talk, you talk about it. If you call anyone out for it, right? Your personal shit should be irrelevant when it comes to racism. That should be on the back burner. No, listen to me. Your personal stuff with Evil Queen should be on the back burner and you should be calling out racism regardless if she's going to call you the worst. Because if you're going to stand for it, you stand for it as a whole. You don't just go pick and choose when you're going to stand on shit. Simple
I've watched you all,
no,
right?
Devon,
Go back and forth.
You've got no argument.
I've watched you all go back and forth.
Argument.
Yeah, I do. I'm saying it and you're talking over it. I've watched you guys go back and forth with this woman, doxing each other. I've seen people played out of their position.
No, it's not doxing each other. No. Devon, I have to correct that. I've not doxed her on social media.
Okay, that's fine. I've seen the most horrible things said about each other that should be handled in a certain way. Unfortunately, if you rise to the bait and you say something back, your case is done. I've explained it time and time again what is going on, and you're still pressing at that button because you don't want to hear the truth.
What button are we pressing, Devon? What button?
You're trying to bait me. You just said racism should come above my personal issues. Something that started to affect my life, having people lie about me and watching it change the algorithm. And because I'm doing something about it, you're trying to shame me into speaking on something that I don't have to speak about.
Like
you're still trying to do it.
Like Miss Red, didn't you, for instance, when EQ was campaigning you constantly, didn't you just bite your tongue and ignore her?
Yeah, I did.
And that was your right to do that. So why is Devon an exception? Why is
when it's racism that's affected him?
Wait, 1 minute. We're not.
I'm not saying that to you, by the way. I'm talking that to Alex.
I ain't expecting people to talk about whatever they don't want to talk about. This argument is between Devon and Alex, so we'll keep it there.
Can I chip in? Miss Red, can I chip in, please? It's Kenjilo's mum. My questions, first of all, are to Alex and Pearl. Question number 1 is, do you have any Jamaican heritage?
No.
Okay, so when you're saying to Courtney, right, like, you know, you lot are outraged at what Courtney done, I was the one.
I wasn't outraged.
I'm not outraged.
Yeah, Pearl, let me just explain it, because I was the one that challenged it on the spot. We were in a live. Courtney's name was Jamaican Courtney. And I'm Jamaican, right? And obviously, I've seen Courtney around the app. I didn't know her too well, but I was offended by it. And I said, Courtney, why do you have Jamaican in your name? Are you Jamaican? And then there was a bit of back and forth in the comments, like it was a joke between her and Devon. And I specifically said, keep your jokes for your WhatsApp groups, right? That's number 1. Number 2, how Courtney dealt with that was, to stay on the live, allow us to have a discussion as to why I might be offended. And then, like you heard earlier, she had also spoke to Paige and spoke to other people. Furthermore, additional to that, in the background, she was appreciating Jamaican culture by learning how to cook the food, how to say certain words. So once I understood all of that, I said, like, you know, like, obviously we've had a conversation. There's no argument there. Me and Courtney are now friends on the app, right? Second point, is around the Congolese thing. Again, it was me that challenged it, because it was in that same live that I challenged Courtney on the Jamaican Courtney thing. Alex came in with his account that said Congolese Alex. Now, I never knew any of the backstory as to why he changed his name to Congolese Alex, but I know Alex on this app from last year. I know he is a YT male, and I also know that he has not spoke and said anything about the G-side that is currently happening in the Congo. So again, I was offended. And I didn't say it was racist. What I said to Alex was, I added him in the comments, and I said to Alex that it was, I didn't say distasteful, I said it was something like it was disrespectful because there is a G-side happening in that country. So there's a time and a place. And this is why, when it came to Paige's live, like yesterday, the day before, and Alex then came in the comments again, appropriating Jamaican culture by using words that would be used by us in the Caribbean, that is why then I became offended again, because I'm like, hold on, does this man not learn? So what I want to know now is from everybody, how many chances should I give people to continue hurting me with their actions?
So how have I hurt you after I've done what I've done and I've never done it again? And how have I hurt you from then?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say you've hurt me, Pearl, but you've offended me, because the reason why I came into this live is because I was listening, and when you were all challenging Courtney for being Jamaican Courtney and accusing her of blackface, and I've seen the picture, that weren't blackface.
Excuse me, take that back. I didn't accuse her of blackface, and that never come out my mouth.
Okay, yeah, you didn't, but other people did, yeah? Chippy did, yeah? So, because you were talking about the picture, saying that it was inappropriate, and why has she done this, and why has she done that, and you are not Jamaican, you are not black, like, I'm not going to allow a racist, and I'm not saying, I don't want to kick anything off, but, you know, we all know the story, Pearl, you've been to court, like, yada, yada, yada.
No, we all know the story, all right, because it's never...
Malicious communication.
And you're never letting me forget as well. And that's why I dug my heels in when you kept calling me, all of yous, EDL burgers, this, that, and the other. Why do you think I'm going to sit there like a little tatey and not do anything back? That's why I done it for, because you kept defending me.
Anything at that time. So when you're saying that, the same way you don't want me to put you in a category with Chippy and everybody else. You need to stop doing that with me as well.
Can I-
What's on about that? I'm
Can I ask
so
a question?
confused what you're trying to say.
Of course you're confused because you're always confused when we start speaking, and this is another common narrative. It always seems like whenever we try and explain ourselves.
No, I'm not
we are met
Kenzo's
with, we are
mum.
met with
I really am
interruptions.
confused
We are met
because
with
Courtney's
defense.
learning
We
Jamaican
are met with
cooking.
being told
Well,
that
I
we
go
are
to
wrong
Jamaica
and we
ever so
can't
many
feel how
times a
we
year. So, and I love the Jamaican
Are you not
food, and
listening,
I
pal?
cook
She
Jamaican
said
food.
sorry.
She said, oh,
She said
Paige,
sorry,
shut
pal.
up. Nobody's talking to you.
Don't tell me
So,
shut up
I
ever
cook
again.
the
That is
Jamaican
very
food,
rude,
and I go
lady.
to Jamaica. So, what, now just think
Okay,
about
Pearl,
it. What
when
if
you go to
Devin said to
Jamaica-
me, right, Pearl, put Jamaican Pearl, and you think the app would be in an absolute
Because you're racist, Pearl.
uproar. Shut up,
Yeah, but I
KG.
challenged it at the time.
Shut up,
That's what you're not
KG.
listening to. I challenged it at the time, pal. That's what you're not listening to. Number one. And number two, right? I love that you go to Jamaica all the time, but let me tell people a few facts about Jamaica, right? When you go to Jamaica, you're going to go to Montego Bay or Negril. You're going to stay on a resort. Do you understand that those of us who are from Jamaica can't even go onto those beaches? Do you understand that the people who work in those hotels in Jamaica are paid pennies? Pennies. Do you understand that they were protesting the other day?
Why are you
because
keep
that they
saying,
are
do I
sick
understand?
of their conditions?
You're confused, so she's asking you, are you understanding yet, pal? You
Paige,
just said
shut
you don't
your
get it.
mouth. I
Don't
don't
tell
even
me
wanna
to shut my
speak
mouth.
to
You shut
you.
your hole. How dare you?
Shut my hole. How
Racist.
dare you? No, you want to
Racist.
shut your
Racist.
hole. You want to shut
You
your
made white
hole.
supremacy sauce.
You
You
want to
made a
shut your
sauce.
hole.
No. You made a
I
sauce called
know.
white supremacy.
Yeah, you want to shut your
Can I ask a
hole.
You
question,
made a
please?
sauce called white supremacy sauce, and you don't think you know you're racist. You mocked racism, and this is why when
Are
you
you
go
for real?
around,
I made
I don't
the
go into
sauce.
your live.
Can I ask you a
I don't
question?
go
What
into
are you
your
I
on
need a
about?
question. I need to
I made
answer.
a
You're
I need a
sauce.
racist.
question.
You're racist, pal. End
What,
of.
what are you on about? I made a sauce. What
On
you
your
on about?
EDL burger, do you want me to get the video? White supremacy
That's
sauce
a
is on your
burger.
burger.
Are you a full shill? And that's a burger, not a sauce. I've never made a sauce.
What a burger? So a white supremacy burger's okay? White supremacy ends the lives of black people, and you wonder why people don't want to fucking like you when you're talking about racism. Are you
Can I ask a
actually
question,
okay in your
please?
head, lady?
Ask a question, Alex.
Oh my God,
And
this woman.
this is to Kenzino's mum. Obviously, we spoke yesterday, and I want can I just an honest answer from you now? You know, if you would have come to me and said about the Congolese thing, like properly, like in a box and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And if I would have said, oh, the reason why I'm doing it is because I've learned how to cook Congolese food, and I'm learning all about Congolese culture. Would you say you'd probably say I was mocking it, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't, because what I would say, Alex, and this is my honest answer, right? What I would say is that's amazing that you have Congolese friends who are teaching you how to cook their food and introduce you to their culture, because that's what diversity is about, Alex. And I did approach you in that live, and granted, I didn't come in the box. I only wrote in the comments, and you have to understand that it's not every time like people can come into boxes. We do have jobs, we have health conditions, like, do you know what I mean? So sometimes I do just say things in the comments.
Okay.
And you may not have seen my comment or response, but what I don't understand is we had this conversation yesterday, and I told you that it was me that said it. I told you that it was me that challenged it.
I've got a reply.
Let me just finish this last little bit, Alex. And then today, I feel like Devon now is being blamed for the things that I have said and done, because I was the one that challenged Courtney on the Jamaican thing, and I was the one that challenged you on the Congolese thing, and that's why I'm here today, because I walk with integrity, and do you know what I mean? I'm here for your questions.
Great response. But then I'd come backwards. If that was the case, then why didn't you ask me the reason why I had Congolese, Alex?
Because at the time, remember, we were talking about the Jamaican Courtney thing, and it had gone into a very deep discussion around like our experiences. And like I said earlier, when you came in with the Congolese Alex account, I just thought, Congolese Alex, I know this is a white man, and there's also a G-side happening in the Congo right now in terms of hundreds of millions of children are dead. Women are being raped every 30 seconds in the Congo. So when I seen that in your name, Alex, I was triggered, and I said, that's distasteful or that's disrespectful. There is a G-side happening in that country. Take that out your name. And that's all I said. And I think I'm entitled to say that.
Kenzino's mum, on my live numerous times when people have said like free Palestine, I've also said that also don't forget about Sudan, don't forget about the Congo. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about Palestine as well, it's happening all over the world. So it's not
fair, Alex. And so if you know that, why would you still then choose? Like, and I understand.
I didn't know. This is 8 months ago. This is 8 months ago.
At the time,
I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it.
The genocide has been happening in the Congo for many years, so you wouldn't know.
But if I didn't know about it at the time, you can't blame me if I didn't know about it at the time. I would never have done that if I knew about it at the time. Of course I bloody wouldn't. I ain't stupid.
Fair enough. So what you're saying, what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing is you've recently just found out about the genocide that's
a few
happening
months
in the
ago,
Congo.
about three or 4 months ago, yeah.
Okay, and then the account was made how many months prior?
8 months ago, about 7 months ago.
So then when you chose to come back on that account, obviously at that time you wouldn't have been thinking, the G side in Congo, because
the whole thing. If the bio actually was on the account 7.1 inches on average, because it was a joke. You know, it's nothing to do with that. I'd never have done it otherwise. At the end of the day, you got to think I've come off cancellation station on this app. You really think I'm going to give people ammunition to fire shots back at me again? I ain't stupid. You know, one thing I'm not is stupid.
Well, that could be argued, but we can agree
to
disagree.
Wow.
People only brought it up, Alex.
Now. Oh, here we go.
People were deflecting and talking about the Courtney thing. That's the only reason. Like I said, I don't care about both the names. I'll be so real. There's bigger issues and bigger racism in my eyes and opinion. But because Courtney got brought up, people obviously brought you up in that sentence because it's obviously a very simple thing as a deflection. But the issue is the people calling out Courtney. You like the hypocrisy on this app. So everyone's saying, why are you bringing Alex into this? Why we're making it all about Alex when EQ said the N-word? But then you've gone and done, instead of sitting having a discussion or a conversation back and forth, you've gone, well, what about Courtney? Courtney done blackface. Courtney done this. Courtney had a Jamaican... Like, you've done exactly the same thing to someone who actually makes effort, though, active effort to be an ally and listen to the voices of black people. So if we're making it all about Alex, did you guys not all make it about Courtney? Instead, because did you guys go live about EQ yourselves as white creators?
Yeah, I did.
Nope.
Yes,
no,
I
not
did.
you, Miss Fred. Not you. I'm talking about.
Yes, I did. And then I
wasn't
got
talking
jumped
to
on
you,
for what
pal.
I
I wasn't,
done.
pal. I
You
can't
are-
talk to you, so please don't talk to me.
Pidgey,
Respectfully.
you are
just
so
told me to shut
irrelevant,
up.
you're unreal,
So can you
and I
please
will
talk
not
to-
shut up for you.
You
And
just
nobody
told
else
me to
like
shut up,
it.
so why are
I
you
will not
breathing
shut
fire out
up
of your
for you,
mouth?
and you're never going to make me shut up.
Are you
there
finished?
you go. How's about that?
Are you finished,
Kenzo's
Bottleneck?
mum, can I just ask you something, please?
I was
Since you've
talking to
kindly
Alex, sorry. I
explained
was
it.
actually talking to Alex.
You
so
know,
why
when
you
I
interrupted?
go to Jamaica, so are you like basically saying not to
hello,
go
I
to
was
Jamaica
talking to
anymore?
Alex.
Is that what you were
I
telling
was
us, like not to
talking
go
to
to Jamaica? Because I don't
This
understand
Bottleneck is
what's
winding me
going
up. It's
on.
not Thanksgiving.
I don't understand what's going on in
Okay,
Jamaica.
pal,
See, I never knew anything about that.
nowhere in what
Yes.
I said did I say to not go to Jamaica. I think the point that I'm making is when you do go to Jamaica, leave the resorts and support local businesses, because when you are in
Well, I do.
Jamaica, Pearl, you will know this, right? When you walk around the resorts, who owns majority of the shops?
No, I don't go to Jamaica to sit in the resorts. We go out and we went all around Jamaica. There's 14 provinces there and I intend visiting them all. So we do go out, we do support the local things. And I don't have to come onto the app and say what I do give when I'm over there. That's for me to know.
You don't, but I have a right as a Jamaican to raise awareness about what's happening in Jamaica now, because people are unaware. And then when they were protesting, when all the hotel people went on strike and decided not to work, obviously there were people that were on holiday there and they were making videos from there. Do you know what I mean? They were British, they were Americans, they were all from foreign countries, and even they were saying they understand, and it's so
Well,
bad.
I do.
Exactly. I never said, did you hear me say that you don't?
Well, you were asking us, do I understand? And yes, I do. And that's why I love to go there and spend my money in Jamaica.
Racist in Jamaica.
No, it's because...
Go take your face for a shit, Paige. How's about that?
Rude, old lady.
Go and take your face for a shit.
Pearl, come on, please.
No, she's taught me the other time. Don't page me when I've just sat quiet. I just muted. I've never ever on the
Quiet when everyone in the world that
were
you
racist,
you don't know
shut
the
down the
name
voice of black people while they're talking
Shut up,
about
Paige.
racism.
You're irrelevant. Shut up.
I'm not shutting up now. She's speaking and you're laughing.
Only on the internet will a racist shut to the voices of black people. When I was just talking to Alex, only on the internet will a racist be allowed to shut down the voices and be made centre
Can
stage
you
in a
just
racial
address her as
debate. A
Pearl,
convicted
please?
racist. I
Address her as
cannot
Pearl,
cope.
just for respect, please.
Hey, Jay, I know, but you're constantly calling her a racist, so
Yeah, well, I want to know.
Convicted
right? I want to
racist.
know.
No, but I don't want it on this live page. I want us to have, you know,
Oh, so I
decent
can't call a convicted.
conversations.
Okay,
It's
don't
just
worry.
going
I'll
to
go have my own
escalate.
life. No,
I
you
want
let
to know.
racists shut up black people.
Other
Let
oranges,
racists shut up black people.
origins,
You can't call them a racist.
green
No
race.
worries.
PG, I want to know then, however origins can call the race card, but when you come to Britain, and you
God.
have
I
it,
can't. I'm not educating you, dunce. Ask someone else your question. Ask someone else. I'm actually not doing it. I'm not doing it. Ask someone
There is
else.
no card when it comes to
Ask
racism.
someone else your fucking question. I'm not doing it.
Can I just
Thank you, everybody in the comments, for the love.
Can I just say something and I need to stop because I'm actually at work? This is proof why people don't sit and have opinions on the app, because someone sat and maybe had an opinion which none of you agreed with. Whoever agreed with it, this is what ends up happening. Everything explodes.
And you have to ask yourself, why is all this happening? Because of what situation? Do you know what I mean? And they'll be sitting there loving this now. Do you know what I mean? We're all arguing and fighting amongst each other when, you know, we should be speaking and not, you know, shouting and calling each other names.
We have been, and no one showed up. That's my point, Miss. This conversation, we're allowed as black people, by the way, to have multiple conversations, discussions, or arguments off the back of someone's racism. It's almost quite offensive when people go, well, this is what we should be talking about. We as people of colour that are offended or affected by racism can talk on multiple points at one time, and we don't have to be drawn and told, well, you shouldn't be arguing because you should be talking about EQ. So you want us to focus more on something that's being made to wind us up and ignore the microaggressions or the antagonising behaviour put towards our face. So we're being policed as black people. We can't be aggressive or passionate. We can't have mid arguments or mid conversations through when someone says the N-word because someone else has said the N-word. So we must respond to that militancy as soldiers and not have no other conversations, no other situations, and we're not allowed to have any other debate because EQ said the N-word. So we must go and fix.
Absolutely not. But what I'm
But that's how it comes across, is what I'm saying.
We're all tearing chunks out of each other rather than.
No,
you know,
not everyone is though. Not everyone
In
is.
my
This is
opinion,
conversation.
it's a
How's the only one that's
divided
actually
queue.
for everyone continuously? Alex and Devon have had a convo. Me and Alex had a convo yesterday. Kenzino's mum and Alex just had a convo. Pal's screaming at everyone. Devon's had a convo. Corey's had a convo. Alex, I'm finished, Pal. This is what I mean. And no one shut her up. No one shut. But when I talk,
I think in my personal opinion,
my point is everyone's had a discussion about racism and what's going on.
It's terrified of it, personally.
Well, there you go. I was talking.
So was I.
I was talking first, love.
So was I. I'm just saying.
I'll mute again for the racist.
So this is just going to go round and round in circles. Like, everybody's opinions are valid, okay? I just don't want it to get nasty and things like that. It's not what I want.
I was talking to Alex Palmer, is what I was saying. Alex had a discussion with everyone about yesterday, yeah? And it hasn't been back and forth. Devon and Alex just had a whole long conversation. They wasn't swearing at each other.
I'm not
so this has gotten somewhere. That's my point. Everyone's saying it hasn't gotten somewhere. I don't know about you guys or anyone else, but people of colour, please let me know. Like, it's definitely been spoken about. Everyone's got what they need to get off their chest, and no one sat down and pulled up or pulled postcodes.
Right. And
so
sorry, go on, Paige.
So I feel like it is being resolved until people come in and make it worse and get very much triggered by certain things like racism. But everything to do with Alex, like you was talking about, I feel like is being resolved as we're talking. They've had calm conversations. I don't get it.
Talking though.
Exactly. I don't dislike Alex, you know, like we might have difference of opinions, but what I do like about Alex is that he has given me room to talk, even though I don't feel like he's listened enough to respond well today. I can still like have a conversation with him. I just want to quickly just address obviously this EQ stuff and like people saying, oh, we need to challenge EQ. I challenged EQ from last year, 2024. That is the only post that I have on my page calling out another creator, right? What I'm not going to do is continue to make my whole life about following EQ around and challenging her every time she says something racist.
And you shouldn't have to, I agree.
Exactly. And Miss Red, the only reason why I'm not doing that is because, like I always say, there's a billion people on this app. Do you think we only experience racism here? Like
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So that's all we're saying, like, do you know what I mean? And I appreciate that everyone wants to say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But respectfully, please don't ever tell a person of colour how they should think, feel or react to what they perceive as racist, because that's not your decision to make. Do you know what I mean?
Can you do me a favour, you guys, the people in the boxes? Can you go and address Black Pope today as well, please, if you don't mind? Thanks.
Can I ask one
Probably
question?
threatens me, so I'll try and stay away from him, but okay.
Paige,
I've got a question for Paige. Can I just ask this question?
Can you all direct your questions elsewhere? I don't know why it's always me.
Paigey, happy to
Well,
answer.
I'm not. I'm just got a question.
Hang on,
while you're
darling.
saying
Hang
that.
on.
Is it gonna be antagonising, or is it a genuine question?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a genuine question.
Okay, yeah, go on. I'm just on edge at the minute, Heatherly.
I'm just trying to understand why you're saying that Pearl's racist for telling you to shut up and you only in this box.
I didn't say she's racist because you told me to shut up. That's not
That's
right.
basically what you've been ranting about for like.
No,
5
I called her
months now,
racist because
and
she
it's
made a
not
bag.
making sense.
She made an EDL burger and white supremacy burgers about me. That's why.
Can I just say,
That doesn't make any sense though, because you literally were saying,
Are you a
just
person of
listen and let
colour?
the racists tell me
Are
to
you a
shut
person
up.
of
That's
colour?
what you've been ranting about for 5 minutes.
Are you a
Like,
person of
you
colour?
okay?
Are you a person
Are
of
you
colour?
okay? Yes, I am. And
Can
what?
You are a person of colour.
Yes, I am.
That's
And
not
what?
you in the picture. I know this account. So why are you lying?
No, I'm not.
That's not you in the picture. So do you want to start again? Why? I don't understand.
That is me in the picture, so why are you lying? On me
That's not-
fucking
I'm not
name.
just-
Don't be
but I
fucking
mean, trolls, and then
lying.
they were
having this.
organising
about.
racism,
Sorry,
I've
I'm
got to
not having
respond.
screaming, shouting and swearing. Absolutely not. It takes out of context what we're trying to do here.
Oh.
Not having it.
Just one more question, and I want to just plain and simple. If someone has said a racist comment, can they not then change their ways and see that way and then call out racism? Because to me, if you've not, whereas Pearl has done what she said and what she's done, and she's learned from that, is she still then not then seeing that point of view? And is that not okay to call out racism?
If you want to forgive Pal as a white man, that's absolutely fine. You're allowed to.
No, my
But
colour has
telling
nothing
people
to do with it.
Well, it is. 'Cause I'm telling you how it is. You're not listening. When are you guys right? I would never sit down and tell a GAY man when to be offended, or if someone said something homophobic a year ago and they didn't feel safe. And they didn't feel safe around that said creator a year later, I would never be like, well, do you just want to get over it? If someone was transphobic to someone and they didn't feel safe in their space or didn't like it and their pattern of behaviour continued it microaggressively, I would never be like, do you just want to get over it now? Can they not change? You can not be offended. You can be upset by certain things, but you won't cause the same offence. If I choose not to forgive, what is the problem?
Okay, so does that then stand for all the thieves and robbers and everything else that are reforming?
I'm heavily offended traumatically by racism, not by thieves and robbers. No one's robbed me bike, but they have called me the N-word and shoved me in the back of a van, mate. So it's not really the same comparison, sweetheart. Do you know what I mean?
It is, because if someone's learnt their way...
Well, I've never been robbed and I've never been thieves, but someone's called me the N-word and men have thrown stuff at me, and as a little girl I've been pushed over because of my colour of my skin in certain places. So my trauma connected to certain words or racism is a lot heavier than someone nicking my bike, sweetheart.
The thing is, the question, Fraser, mate. The question is only going to be answered by an individual. You can't. Speak about the whole community. You know what I mean? It's just like an individual situation. Like
it's not even the community, Alex. It's it's an individual basis. Like we can't decide who chooses.
No, but it has to be the community if they're talking about racism, and you know what I mean. So.
No, but as in the community, I don't speak for black people. I'm part of a black community or a mixed race community, whatever you want to call it. But I'm saying I can only speak on my individuals. But when you're asking me them kind of questions, I'm pretty much sure, say maybe there's a black person who's offended more by robbery or theft, like you said, that's been traumatically linked to that. Maybe something's happened to them with that situation, and they're not as prominent on racism because it hasn't affected them as heavily.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is
Pearl
will have obviously black followers as well, and they'll still support her now. Like, and that's what I mean. It's an individual; it's their choice to continue to support.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's talking about forgiveness, though. It's talking about forgiveness, Alex.
That was my thing. Is if somebody has learnt from that mistake that was made,
and I have.
Do you know what I mean? Then
as a friend, right? I don't know if it means anything, but as a friend and somebody that went, covered the whole situation, I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, she has learned and she is educating herself on what. Do you get what I'm saying? As a friend, I can say that's not to me to forgive, but I can say as a friend, I know that she has massively learned.
I have a question for everyone. I have a question. How do we measure simply how much somebody has changed? You know what I mean? Like if somebody says, like we're using Pearl as an example here in terms of she's gone through what she's gone through in terms of what she believes was getting dragged for what she said and whatever not. And then she says she's changed. But then my question is, are you able to go into a little bit more detail about the work that you've done off the app in order to change and educate yourself? Because it ain't like you just wake up one day and say, right, that's it, I'm a changed person. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. And then I'd also like to know, how can we measure when somebody then becomes anti-racist?
Well, it's from her actions that she would do personally off the app. It doesn't, like she said, it doesn't have to be on the app. Like she'd already stated that she goes to the different regions of Jamaica, she does whatever she needs to do. Her personally, that's how she does it. You know,
but she's getting stress on the app. But Fraser, respectfully, right? The stress that she's receiving is on the app. It's not in real life.
No, I'm saying
that's why it's difficult to. Sorry,
the measurements, I get that and understand that. But how she chooses to redeem herself, like if she's calling out a racism, then that to her is how she feels that she can redeem.
Let's ask Pearl. We'll ask you.
Well, firstly, how I first started, there was nobody beat themselves up more than I did for using a word I used all my life, and I said it to the wrong person. And I am truly, till the day I'm not on this earth, sorry for that. Right? So then it was like something sent from God that I was called out for it, because think about it, I used to let my grandchildren, I used to call them that, right? So now I feel like all of this was put onto me because they know now they can never ever say that word, the same as my family. So I'm trying my best to show I am sorry. And I am so, so sorry for saying it to the wrong person. Do you know, like, I can't say sorry for the rest of my life. I truly am sorry.
Pearl.
Okay, Pearl. I'm hearing what you're saying, and then this goes back to in terms of like how you're perceived then by us who have been directly affected by your words, and like you very rightly said, like, you know, you're not forcing anyone to accept your apology, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But then my issue comes then when you run up a live then to discuss racism or challenge racism that you see, as we've all said that you should do, right? We had this conversation last year, right? You're going to earn many gifts whenever you go live. Whatever you talk about, you're going to be gifted. So then my next question is, how much of that money that you receive do you put into Black community projects in your local area? Because what I will tell you is we are struggling in terms of funding, right? We are extremely underfunded and undervalued when it comes to trying to put projects in our local community. So what else do you do other than what you've just said?
Right, so I do a lot, which I don't have to explain myself to nobody, but I do a lot for a lot of charities, a lot of organisations, but I don't choose to come on the app and push it down people's faces, because just the same as when I went on holiday, they said, oh, she's going on holiday to try and prove she's not a racist. I can't win, Kenzo's mum, I can't win. But yes, I do lots of things off the app. And people who are my friends off the app, like, know what I do.
Okay, and the only reason why I brought that up is because, again, like me, Devon and Paige have said, off this app, we deliver training to organisations across government, across local authorities, etc. Like my training in particular is around cultural competency, yeah? So I train organisations on how they can better respond and better work with people of colour. So that's why I'm asking the questions that I'm asking. Now, the reason why I'm asking and the reason why it's important is because within this country, like, we have the lowest amount of social capital because we have to put our money into everything else. And that's the only reason why I'm asking. Now, you are entitled not to tell me what you put your money into, etc. But if you could just mention one Black community organisation that you support, then I'd be happy with that.
Well, listen, I'm not going to, it's a children's one. And I shouldn't have to explain, but it is, and it's for Black children. And you'll know exactly which one I'm on about, but I shouldn't have to explain. And you know, I don't just do it now and again. It comes out as a monthly direct debit.
I don't know which one you're on about, but I'm going to assume you're talking about a national one.
Ken Rose, ma'am. I think we know exactly which one I'm talking about. And the same as I do it for a lot of English charities as well. And heart foundations and cancer foundations. I do a lot for lots of different charities. But like I say, I shouldn't have to explain where my money, what I do work for,
penny into any charity.
where I do work for goes into, and I could sit on here and say, no, I don't do this, don't do that, but I don't choose to where I tell people that goes up, I send money every month, not the world, but it's something I put into, and I have for a lot of years, not just from this ever going on.
Okay, fair enough. So, Paul, can you see how I might be slightly offended in terms of, you know, like historically, who has profited off the back of black people historically?
I've only been on the SAP for a bit, but I can promise you, all of our family, all of my family gives into lots of charities. We go around, such as Christmas time. Right, can I ask this? How many, and I'm just turning the tables on its, whatever you call it, right?
On its head.
On its head. How many people will go out at Christmas time and take toys to hospitals, take food, take clothing? We
I do it every year, Pearl. I do
Can
it
I
every
answer a
single year.
question?
Yeah, go on.
Every single year I do it for domestic abuse charities. Anyone can go and check my page and see the work that I do off this
Tina's
app
mum.
in terms of domestic abuse.
But
And
I'm just saying, so yes, I do it just like you love.
Let me just finish this point, because it seems like everyone gets offended when I say that, like, you know, like my position, what I do is about raising the invisibility of black women and girls in domestic abuse, right? And that is known across government. So I don't care what TikTok wants to say, oh, why is she talking about this? Why is she talking about that? I'm talking about it because, yeah, it's something not only I'm passionate about, it's something I've been affected by. But what I've noticed on this app, yeah, everybody ignores our stories. Like, I run lives all the time where I'm calling out perpetrators from Birmingham. I've never seen not one of you in my lives for support. I've never seen one of you come over to my page and repost anything that I'm posting, because we're not in the same circles on here, and that's okay. But my point is, when it comes to you like making money on the back of racism, yeah, and then we're over here with our little platforms and whatever, not like trying to do what we're doing, it seems a little bit unfair, and it seems like it's a little bit of an injustice for me. Don't think I'm here for the money.
In all fairness, Kenzo's mum, like, please don't take this the wrong way, but I've never encountered you before. I don't know what you do.
No, you haven't, misread. You haven't, and I will say
I've got 130,000 followers, just like Pearl would have, Corey. You know, we've got a lot of followers, Corey, and a lot. I don't know individually who each person is. So
Wow, I can't believe you've just shamed her there, Miss Red. That's
well, I
horrendous.
haven't. I'm just saying.
Oh,
No, but I
my
agree. I've never had a conversation with Miss Red, like, do you know what I mean? But at the height of the race debates, I definitely had conversations with both Alex and Pearl. Do you know what I mean? And one of the things that people will say, like, oh, if you don't like it, then scroll off, move away. That's exactly what I've done, and that's why you like didn't see me for a whole year. Do you know what I mean? The reason why I've got involved in this now is because, like I said, I was the one that said that to Courtney about Jamaican Courtney, and I was the one that challenged Alex on the Congolese thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even lended my voice to this conversation, because I do feel like sometimes it is a waste of energy for me.
And to answer your question as well, and respect to you for what you do, obviously, you know what I mean, that's your passion, that's what you know what I mean, that's what you feel that you have to do, and you know what, all credit to you. But when you asked that question just a minute ago, who's obviously earning money off the back of obviously black community, and you know, is charities themselves. Because if you actually want to look into it, only certain charities, I'm not going to call them all because some of them do really good things, but read up on the Oxfam story.
Oh,
a lot of the black community charities, Alex, aren't nationalised based.
Exactly,
as well.
we're not talking about national charities.
No, I'm just answering the question. You asked the question.
I'm not shouting at you. I'm just saying. I know. I'm explaining to you.
Alex, this is the issue, right, that we have, right? Now, what you're saying, you are absolutely correct, but why would I not know that when I'm telling you that I'm out here raising awareness about the invisibility of black women and girls, like, you know what I mean, in terms of domestic abuse. When it comes to charity leaders are allowed to pay themselves a certain percentage, which is a very high percentage, and that is how a lot of them get paid. Look at Mr. Beast. What is Mr. Beast doing at the moment in terms of his water aid across Africa?
Yeah, he's writing it off for tax.
40%.
Yeah, he's writing it off as tax. I know how it all works.
Do you know what I mean? So when I'm saying that, I'm not talking about what's happening now. I'm just saying historically, right, everybody has always benefited off the back of us. That is it. Rather than be fragile and defensive, just say, you know what, you're absolutely right. I'm going to do better moving forward. I'm going to have a look in my local community, never mind the national and international. I'm going to look in my local community and do something there.
Can I just say something? You're right there about obviously people like Mr. Beast. You got to understand he's Jewish and he stands for Israel and stuff. So he can't be there going to help people in like countries like that when he stands against the Israeli government, when he stands for the Israeli government. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
I do understand.
And that's when I get frustrated because like, you know, on the app, we all just think about ourselves, and but all I'm trying to say is it's so much bigger than us. It's so much bigger than all of us who are in these boxes. You know what I mean? Like, it's a wider issue. So when I talk, I'm talking from the wider issue. I'm not talking and directing things to people individually.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Can I just reply?
Because my sugar levels are low. Go on.
Can I just reply back to Kenzo's, Mum? And you're saying that I don't go into lives. Now, Devon's up the top, and I don't know if he'll agree with us or not, but I have told him. I love going in and listening into black people's lives. And Devon, I come into yours on a fake account, which I go around other ones because I wanted to educate myself on things. And I love listening to the lives. But if I go in on my real account, just like I did yesterday, I get jumped on from a great height. So that's why you don't see me come into the lives on my main account, is because I get jumped on from a great height, and it's get that racist out of here. When am I ever going to be like able to listen? I have to come in on a fake account.
So, Paul, if you at the end of the day, it's up to the creator. I always have this view of like, I don't care what anyone thinks or says. If I want to speak to someone, I'll speak to them. If you decide that you want to come in and have a conversation, it goes for anyone. Alex yesterday, anyone I have an issue with, ask me to remove the people from my boxes and we'll have a conversation.
But it shouldn't have to be like that. You're saying, why don't we come into boxes? I do when I come in on a fake account, and I also come into yours, Devon, lots of times, because I could tell you things that you've been talking about. And I'm just saying I don't come in on my real account because I get jumped on. And one more thing, Kenzo's mum, and then I will shut up, is when we go around as a gypsy community, and it's all over where we go to food banks, we go to hospitals. Do you know the amount of times we've took that much stuff and then we'd stand on the street and say, anybody who wants to come and get it. But what we don't do, we don't film it and we don't go on about it, because to me, doing a good deed, then you've just took it all away by putting the camera on somebody and telling people the good. If you're going to do a good thing, just do it. You don't have to talk about it.
I agree with that, Pearl.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Pearl, because I'm the same. Do you know what I mean? I don't like exploiting people. However, you can still show what you're doing in different ways, is all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that you're gonna go and get a camera in people's face and put everything that you're doing on, but I asked you a very simple question, and
I'm just saying I do things and I shouldn't have to prove myself, and I'm not about that. Kenzo's mum, I'm not about that. If I do a good deed,
Kenzino. Sorry, Kenzino.
If I do a good deed, I've done it. Nobody else has to know anything about it. Because to me, if I want to go on and telling people, who does she think she is? Does she want a medal? I don't want to do that. I just want to do what I do, and it's done.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to keep going back.
Sorry, Kenzie knows more. Can I just hear from Corey, because he has been sat patiently waiting. He's been.
No, it's okay. She can go ahead.
He's been off because I've got to get going soon, guys. Because people are waiting to use the kitchen. So, allow me to
think about EQ and what she said as big creators.
You what, Paige?
Can I just ask what everyone as big creators thinks about what EQ and what she said?
I'll give my opinion. Yesterday, it was.
I wasn't
my
really here. I was
opinion.
getting racially abused in other lives.
In my
Corey?
opinion is I'm not shocked.
No, I'm not shocked. I mean, as in the like, how did it make you feel? What is your like stance on it? And not about you're not shocked. Like, how do you actually feel about it? Like as a human.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty obvious, and it's
You'd be surprised though, Alex. That's what I mean. You'd be surprised, mate, because I've had people telling me that I'm overreacting.
How can you overreact? It's the worst word that can ever be used, in my opinion. And I think she gets away with too much racism on the app, to be honest with you. So that's just my personal opinion.
What do you think to do then as creators to combat that? Because you guys are the ones that would essentially get the most views and essentially have the most influence.
There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing nobody.
No, I mean, what do you like? Do you have any suggestions of how the app or creators or anyone in general can go about protecting spaces of people of colour? Then.
Do you know why? Do you know why I get views, Paige?
What, Alex? Why?
Because I'm a real bad man.
Shut your mouth, Alex. Corey.
Wagwan.
How do you
Corey,
feel
would
that
you like to add there?
What? I did. I said Wagwan. She was going to ask me a question.
I'm not. I don't care. I'm past that. I get racially antagonised on a daily basis. I'm past it. I'm around narcissists daily. How do you feel that EQ used your like basis and used you to repeat racism?
So I used.
I'm not asking
word.
why you said it. I'm not having to go at you. I'm asking
Okay.
how do you feel that EQ used
Broxy,
you as a
I
basis?
was referring to what Zach said, and then she referred back to what I said. So,
Corey, I'm not having to go at you. I'm asking you, how do you feel that EQ used you? So she obviously wanted to be racist to Shep, yeah? And she used you as an example by going, oh, Corey, you said that just that so she could say the word.
Well, she just wanted to say the word because Shep was in my chat.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel that she used you to do it?
There's nothing more I can say. She's been using me for many months, uses me for clout and all sorts, and views.
Do you see maybe now why when people were saying to you, like, oh, when you're saying the N-word, and you were like, what's the point of it? And it wasn't, I didn't direct it towards someone. Do you see now the domino effect of things like that happening and being said out loud?
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm asking. Like, I'm genuinely curious because obviously this all started with EQ just because Shep gifted you. That's all it was. Not because of anything else. It was over gifts. Everyone can hate gifts or make a little joke. That's what battles are for. Do you know what I mean? If you've got it there to gift, you want to wind people up, or even in a jokey way. It happened. But this is what I try and explain to Corey, the implication when we had the conversation of, oh, I know you were saying you was repeating what someone said, but this is why it's best with these kind of situations and such heavily offensive words to not to say it at all. In personal spaces, which clearly wasn't safe that you thought it was, because someone was recording you, or in public. Do you know what I mean? Like, because now you've been used, you're sitting there saying you don't want to be racist, but now EQ's sitting there using what you said and your whole situation to continuously now racially abuse other people. And then everyone's saying, like, I saw Sophie Bailey. Well, why can't people say the N-word, or why does it really matter? But this is the problem. Everyone sits and says, why do people of colour go on and on about racism? You know, like things like if the N-word and that wasn't said so blasé, or people saying, why do we not need to say the N-word? Why can't we? Like, even the comments now, why does it matter? It's just a word. Maybe if you want us to shut up talking about it, probably stop saying the N-word and then sitting by people that do.
Donna, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm really sorry. I would love for this to
Crazy.
People are waiting to use the kitchen because it's dinner time here.
Evan, you're not addressing
Sorry,
me.
now I actually asked a normal, genuine question, but that gets misled because the screaming and shouting is more important. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, I'm gonna go live in a minute and saying I hate the term YT being spent on the app, so I'm gonna do a live now.
Devon wanted to address me. Can you do it in the less than 1 minute, Devon?
Yeah, of course I can. You know when you came in there and you said Wagwan?
Wagwan.
Yeah. Can I ask you on a level, it's trolling, isn't it?
No, it's hello in Jamaican.
Okay. But after the conversation that just happened, it's trolling, it's teasing, it's like a slight mockery, yeah?
No, I said Wagwan.
Sharon Shep likes them to say that to have their banter between
I was in Shep's live. I was in her box. I said Wagwan, Shep.
That's fine. But you know what you're doing when you do things. So when people say, I feel like I'm being mocked a little bit, this is an example of, like, you know, just because other people are dumb doesn't mean I am. And I'm not taking it offensive because you know me and you get on like that.
Are you Jamaican, Devon?
Between me and you know what you're doing.
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are you Jamaican, Devon?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm not from Jamaica.
Swearing Shep lets him say that the same as you let Courtney put that on her profile, so it should be absolutely fine.
It's okay. You're all trying to make a point and you're proving mine, and it's fine. I don't have an issue with Corey. Me and him will talk it out. It's fine.
No, we're not talking it out. You fancy me. I don't want you. We've said this before. Reg, tell him, man. All these men on this app are sexualising me all the time. Black Pope yesterday, he offered to get me graped. It's just weird. All these men just want my punani and I'm not having it anymore.
Okay, Corey.
No, because the only man I
agree
want
though.
my punani
There
is
should
Simon.
be outrage for that as well today. I think there should, and there's no one really talking about it.
Can I just say that Blackpool was given a deadline?
So and he wasn't the fact. The fact is, he wasn't just that as well. It was the fact is, he was saying referencing black men to greasy, like getting a greasy black man to do what you know what I mean.
And Dan, he said it about both of us. And then you had a problem with me and Dan being gay.
So what happened is, I said to him, show us your proof of where you've pulled people up and educated them. And I said, do it by tomorrow. I said, invite me to the live. And all they did was went and caused controversy and said all of that, and now he's just lay dormant. But to be fair, it's not about Black Pope. Anyway, I was having the discussions on him. Black Pope can go and do his own thing.
Can I just address Amanda in the comments? She told me to stop sexualising everyone. Amanda, I've just seen your profile picture. You're definitely not sexualised, darling.
Corey.
Donna, thank you for letting us up.
Yeah, thank you, Donna, for letting us up.
I'm going to jump down, but thank you, everybody, just for listening.
Alex, can this continue in your life?
Yeah.
Yay!
Bye.
What was it? Oh my God! Did you see what I misread it then, guys? Did you see what I misread it then? She was referencing the Chinese people. You are out of order.
Alex, stop now.
What now?
I'll reference a Chinese person. Number 69.